Hello guys, my name is 711 and welcome to a brand new series on my channel, the United Global Battle Competition Little Cup. Yeah, you heard that right, Little Cup. So, the UCL, the United Championship League, they had a Little Cup mini league right after Season 1, and so there was a lot of people in the United Global Battle competition that wanted to do Little Cup, and I said, you know what? Let's try Little Cup. So we are doing something very similar. Instead of 16 teams, we have 14 teams, and what we all did was that we all got to pick one captain. We all got to pick one Pokemon that would be our captain, and then the rest of the Pokemon would be randomized. So let's jump into this here. So my captain is Captain Cranidos, and so here is our captain, and the reason why I picked him is because he has the highest attack stat of Little Cup at 125, and he's absolutely monstrous like that. Decent speed, I think. I'm not quite sure if 58 is good or not, but 58 speed is pretty good. And he also gets a lot of really great moves. Crunch, Earthquake. He gets a Fire Punch. Does he get Thunder Punch? He gets Thunder Punch. Does he get Ice Punch? No Ice Punch. But he does get Head Smash. He gets Power Up Punch. He gets Pursuit. He gets Rock Polish. That can be scary. He can set up Stealth Rock. There's Stone Edge. There's Superpower. There's Zen Headbutt. So Cranidos has a lot of coverage. Rock coverage, ground coverage, fire coverage, electric coverage, dark coverage, fighting coverage. So he's really good in that respect, and he has two amazing abilities: Sheer Force and Mold Breaker. So one thing that I could do: Mold Breaker, Earthquake, hits Levitators. I know that that's going to be a thing. Mold Breaker can cut right through a Pokemon Sturdy, so that's going to be really nice to look forward to. I could run Life Orb with Sheer Force and Rock Polish. That could be a thing. Let me grab Rock Polish here. There you go. Rock Slide I saw back there. And then 3 moves. Cranidos can potentially sweep, and so that's going to be really exciting. And so that was my captain, and now we're going to go into the Pokemon that were randomized onto my team. So first up we have Timber, who is Jack like a lumberjack, and so he should be pretty good. Probably the item of choice is going to be Eviolite, and he has lots of great abilities. Got Sheer Force and Iron Fist. You know, guys, how good Conkeldurr is in, well, he was in OU, now he's in UU. You know how good, what's the middle evolution called? Girder? Yeah, Girder. You know how good Girder is in PU or NU. So bulk up with the Eviolite is going to be really great. Drain Punch. He gets Ice Punch, Knockoff. Knockoff is going to be huge in Little Cup. There's Low Kick, Mach Punch for priority. Power Up Punch. Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Thunder Punch. And does he get Fire Punch, Ice Punch? There's Ice Punch. There's Fire Punch. Cool. He does get the Elemental Punches. We have a Taunt user on the team. We have a Rest user on the team. So Jack is hopefully going to put in a lot of work. A fighting type is a really great type to have, especially since there are a lot of normal types around. So hopefully Jack can put in a whole lot of work, especially with knockoff. So next up we have Baby Lamp, the Chinchou. And so I've never used this guy, but apparently he's really good. And I hope to find out why he's so good. Probably Eviolite. I get to decide between Volt Absorb or Water Absorb when it comes down to it. Probably Volt Absorb, as you'll see later. So, Chinchou and Slowpoke later will probably be a pretty good duo right there. Next up, well, I'm sorry. Baby Lamp gets Dazzling Gleam, which is going to be really nice to counter a couple of dragons that are out there. Bagon, Dratini, Gibble, Dino. Discharge is going to be really great for stab and potential paralysis. Heal Bell is going to be pretty good too. It gets Ice Beam, it gets Hydro Pump, it gets Scald, it gets Signal Beam, it gets Sucker Punch. That's interesting. And of course Surf, Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Toxic, Volt Switch. Volt Switch is probably going to be pretty common. Base speed of 67. What are you? You're 58. Okay. So there's Baby Lamp. And so next on we have Sandito, the Hippopotas. And I have never used Sandito before. I have used Hippowdon very few times, but every once in a while I do. So I think that base 78 is pretty good, base 42. So probably another Eviolite user. And if you will look later on at my team, you'll see that Sandstream could be very viable. So we have a physical wall here, and base 78. That's not too bad. Not too bad. And do you get Slack Off? You do get Slack Off. And you get Roar. And you get Stealth Rod. And you get Earthquake Stab. You get Crunch. So this is going to be a really great wall of a Pokemon. I can bring it in on something that's set up and roar it out. I can crunch. I have a couple good moves. Let's look up. You don't have the Elemental Fang moves that Hippowdon has. So I guess that's a little bit upsetting. But I think that Sandito can put in some work. I think so. Next we have Not a Threat, the Numel. If you look, Numel has pretty deplorable stats. Base 60 is okay, I think. Defense is pretty lacking. Special defense is not much better. But with Simple and Stockpile, in 3 turns I can get max defenses. It'll be times 4 times 4. So that means that Numel can survive Scald unless it's a crit. Numel cannot be burned because it's a fire type, so that's pretty cool. That means that I'm free to Will-O-Wisp stuff. That means that I am free to go for, what is it, Flame Charge to double my speed each turn. I get Fire Blast, a Heat Wave Flamethrower, of course. Iron Head is potential. Lava Plume is potential. There's Rock Slide. So Numel does get some pretty good moves. Ancient Power is pretty neat. And so I hope to have some fun with Not a Threat. And we'll see what I can pull from there. And next we have Paul. Paul the Slowpoke. Probably you're gonna have Regenerator. and probably you're going to have Eviolite. Either that or the Berry, if I'm going to predict a knockoff. So this is another Pokemon along with Sandito that gets Slack Off. So Slack Off is pretty cool. Of course you get Psychic and Psyshock. Do you get Flamethrower and Fire Blast? Yes you do. He gets Grass Knot. He gets Calm Mind. He gets Ice Beam. Scald, of course. Surf. Trick. You got Trick. Interesting. So that's essentially Paul right there in a nutshell. If you look over at his stats, 90 base HP is actually pretty surprisingly good. Defensive 65 compared to this. Okay, so Paul is slightly less on the defensive side, but has a lot more HP, 90 compared to 68. Slowpoke is not going to be outspeeding anything, so maybe even Trick Room with Sandito? That could be a thing. So, moving on to the next half of my draft, I got Eevee. I got Glamorous Eevee. Now, why is Eevee so great? Because of adaptability, and I can just click Body Slam, or Double Edge, or Return. He gets Wish, Glamorous gets Wish, Glamorous gets Shadow Ball, gets Quick Attack for Stab, Priority. If I put a Choice Band, Quick Attack, Adaptability, Eevee's gonna be scarier than you think. Eevee's gonna be a lot scarier than you think. So base 55 isn't really amazing, but hopefully I can put in some work with Glamorous Eevee. Next up, I got on randomization Baby Nikki. Now, Baby Nikki is a Smoochum. I really have no whatchamacallit, experience with Jinx or Smoochum for that matter, but I could be using Oblivious so that I don't get taunted. I guess that could be a thing, but what kind of setup do I have? I have Calm Mind, that could be a thing. Fake Out could be a thing. Heal Bell is nice. Okay, so there's Light Screen. Do I have Reflect? I have both screens. That's interesting. There's Magic Coat. Nasty Plot. This thing gets Nasty Plot. I mean, what's your speed? Base 65. I think Calm Mind's going to be slightly more advantageous. You also get Wish and Trick and Toxic, so that's interesting. Yeah, with base 15 defense, that's going to be pretty hard to pull off anything with Baby Nikki, unfortunately. But base 85 is pretty good. I could run Choice Scarf. I could run a Choice Scarf Smoochum. That could be interesting. So that's Baby Nikki for you guys. And next, I have the Lit Puppy. Growlithe the Lit Puppy. Now, let me take a moment. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon weak to water, 5 Pokemon, I'm sorry, grass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon weak to grass, and now I have a fire type. Now I have a fire type in the back. 45, 50, probably another Eviolite user. I have an Intimidator now. I have a Flash Fire now. I have a Justified now. So, he gets some pretty good stuff like Close Combat, Crunch. Of course, he gets all those nice fire moves. He gets Flare Blitz and Heat Wave. He gets Morning Sun, which is going to be extremely useful. He gets Outrage. An outraging Lit Puppy. He gets Wild Charge and Will-O-Wisp too, to boot. And Roar. So this Growlithe can hopefully put in a ton of work, especially with my massive grass weakness. Hopefully Lit Puppy can just blow stuff back. You do get Howl to raise attack from base 70, and interestingly you have base 70 for both attack and special attack. So although Arcanines tend to be physical, then you know I can do some interesting stuff. I get Snarl. I get you know, some pretty good special type moves like Flamethrower, In Power, Heat Wave. Actually, that's about it, really. Oh well, that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully the Lit Puppy can put in a lot of work because of my massive grass weakness. And so next we have Bubbles. And I have no idea what Bubbles like to do. Base 40, 50, 90 speed though. Do you get Belly Drum? You get Belly Drum. Alright. Do you get Aqua Jet? You do not get... Excuse me, guys. Do you not get Aqua Jet? Is there anything interesting that you get? As far as physically offensive moves, you get Body Slam and Double Edge. You get Facade. You get Return. You get Waterfall. Okay, I can see myself rocking out with like Belly Drum and Waterfall, and you do get Endure. What else can you get? I can see myself just spamming Return. That could be interesting. Yeah, so I can go like this, and I can go like that, and I can go like that. And that's probably a good enough set right there. Probably run Jolly if I run Belly Drum. I did not know that you got Belly Drum. What a little bubble. Alright. So hopefully Bubbles can have a lot of fun with that. Of course, I have a Water Immunity in Water Absorb. I have a second one in Baby Lamp with Water Absorb. That's why I was thinking that Volt Absorb might be a little bit better. And of course I can also choice Scarf Bubbles into a good move, you know, just in case Abra wants to revenge kill something and such. So that's essentially Bubbles right there. And last but not least is Who Called the Hoot Hoot? And so I have Insomnia, which is hopefully going to be pretty good. I've never used this guy, so let me take a quick look at what this thing gets. It gets Air Slash to Frog. First of all, you are ever so slightly a special attacker. Do you get Calm Mind? You do not get Calm Mind. That's unfortunate. You get Extra Sensory. You get do you get Synchronize? You do get Synchronize. Okay. So that's going to be interesting to run. Synchronoise isn't here. But just so you guys know, let me find Synchronoise again. This is a psychic type move, base 120, perfect accuracy, and so this Synchronoise is actually better than Psychic. It's a really, really, really powerful psychic type move. But here's the catch, is that Synchronoise can only hit Pokemon that share the user's type. That means that Synchronoise can only hit normal types, and it can only hit flying types. So, it is pretty situational. So, if, I don't know, a Pidgey or a Rattata were to come in, then Synchronoise is a really great option. But if, like, a Bonsly comes in, Synchronoise does nothing. Air Slash sounds pretty fun. Heat Wave sounds pretty fun. Extrasensory maybe, probably more so Hyper Voice. So there is a pretty good team right there. Probably either Eviolite or Sash, Focus Sash, and probably put in the work. So yeah, that's essentially Hoot, nicknamed Who Called. So if you look back, we have our Captain Cranidos, Jack the Timber, Baby Lamp the Chinchou, Sandito the Hippopotas, Not a Threat the Numel, Paul the Slowpoke, we have Glamorous the Eevee, Baby Nikki the Smoochum, the Lit Puppy Growlithe, we have Bubbles the Poliwag, and Who Called the Hoot Hoot. So, yeah, overall, yes, I do have a good bit of a grass weakness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon weak to grass. And if Growlithe doesn't pull through, then maybe a Choice Scarf, Baby Nikki can help. Numel could help. We'll see. So that's an interesting team that I have here. I have a lot of power. I do recognize that, especially in the Captain and Jack and Glamorous. But I'm very, very excited to see what I can pull off with this team, and so hopefully, I'll surprise myself. Because you know what, I don't think I've ever used any of these Pokemon in Little Cup. Usually in Little Cup I have like Onix and Mienfoo, and I like to have Lickitung. Actually, let me pull up Little Cup. Oh, that's all I have in Little Cup. Okay. So that's essentially my team, guys. Let me know what sets you like to see run in this season, and so that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video with your friends, and I will hope to see you all later. Peace.